And Cavaliers play in Miami tonight on MMS. 7:30 is the tip-off, so 7 o'clock is when the pregame will begin, right here and on the iHeartRadio app. You see, they're doing Jimmy Kimmel and Norman Lear a couple of years ago started bringing back the live in front of a studio audience reboots. And Norman Lear is the guy who's responsible for all these amazing sitcoms over the years, and Jimmy Kimmel was such a big fan that they would do like a one-night live sitcom. They would like Jamie Foxx played George Jefferson. They did the Jeffersons, and they would,
Yeah.
And
they're kind of fun.
They are fun, and apparently they're doing Facts of Life and Different Strokes on Wednesday, December the 7th. That would be 1 week from tonight, the 8th. This said the 7th. Oh, Tuesday. I'm sorry. So Tuesday night they're going to do it. They've got Jennifer Aniston is going to play Blair. Did you guys ever watch The Facts of Life? Okay. You didn't watch Different Strokes. These are kind of more, I guess, my generation. But they've got John Lithgow is going to play Mr. Who was the guy in Different Strokes? Mr. Drummond. Mr. Drummond. Conrad Bain was the actor who played him.
Like, I watched that show, but I was a very small child when I was watching that show.
Right. So I think this is funny, but it's also strange. Kevin Hart is going to play Arnold. Damon Wayans is going to play Willis. You might remember, if you're old enough, that Facts of Life was a Different Strokes spin-off because Mrs. Garrett was the maid for Mr. Drummond.
That's right.
And so then they spun the Facts of Life off where Mrs. Garrett went off and ran a house for wayward girls, I believe was the premise of that. So they're doing Facts of Life and they're doing Different Strokes live in front of a studio audience on ABC on Tuesday night.
There's that classic line that they'd always say on Different Strokes. We go, I don't know what's going on here, Willis.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Willis.
Willis, comma,
Willis.
Mm-hmm. Facts of Life, it's going to be Jennifer Aniston as Blair. They've got Catherine Hahn, the pride of East Cleveland, is going to be play the Joe role. Again, none of this means anything to you, I guess, if you didn't watch Facts of Life. Okay. I did. Lithgow is going to play Mr. Drummond. Ann Dowd, who was the creepy lady in Hereditary, she's been in a bunch of stuff. She's great. Going to be Mrs. Garrett. But my thought is this. Are they playing it for laughs that everybody's so old? Because when they did the Jeffersons, they just cast, I think it was...
Jamie Foxx was George Jefferson.
Right. All in the family...
He had to wear a bald cap.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Right. Wink, wink. Is Jamie Foxx reportedly like, oh, really?
That's not really. That's like kind of a joke around Hollywood, yeah.
I don't get around Hollywood that often.
No,
I don't hear these cool jokes. Yeah. And they did All in the Family, where Woody Harrelson, I think, played Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
So they're doing Facts of Life in Different Strokes. But I assume that the joke is that they're all old, like Gabrielle Union is going to be Tootie.
I think they just need the star power. And I think they need people that might actually know what the show was.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they're going older.
Right, because Jennifer Aniston is my age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's not going to be, if she's like playing a 14-year-old girl or whatever, however old those girls were. I guess maybe closer to 17, 18 on that show. I love Damon Wayans. So I haven't seen him do anything for a while. He's going to play Willis.
Willis, don't play that.
Willis, don't play that. To this day, Damon Wayans' hour on HBO in the mid-90s is it's my top 5 for funniest hours of stand-up. Still standing, I think it might have been called.
I don't think I've seen that in a very, very long time.
It is so goddamn funny from front to back. And Kevin Hart's going to play Arnold. So that's on Tuesday night.
Very funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's so short.
Because he's so tiny and short.
Live in front of a studio audience is back, recreating 2 classic comedies with 1 all-star cast. The Facts of Life, featuring Ann Dowd, Gabrielle Union, Catherine Hahn, Allison Tolman, and Jennifer Aniston. Plus, Different Strokes with John Lithgow, Damon Wayans, and Kevin Hart. with surprise appearances you can't miss.
Oh, I can't, can I?
You cannot.
I love these things. I'm gonna watch.
I do too.
When is it?
I'm gonna set my VCR. That's right. I've got a VCR.
I don't even have
I've got a
VCR.
video cassette
I was
recorder.
gonna say I was talking about people buying CDs. You got a VCR.
Got a VCR. Put it right in my water closet.
Do you have more VCRs or I'm sorry? Do you have more VHS tapes or DVDs?
Well, I was joking, but I do have. Well, I've got a bin in the basement. That's all old television appearances of mine. So a lot of those are on VHS. Some of them are on DVD.
We need to put those on AlanCoxShow.com.
I was gonna say our
I don't think they're that interesting. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Our cassettes.
Well, I need to send it to one of those companies that digitizes everything. You know, just put them all on a thumb drive or something.
A friend of mine does that. I just found out that's. Oh my god.
There's a
who is
billion
it?
companies that do it. I'm sure there's one locally.
Yeah.
But it makes me nervous that they might screw up the source material because I don't want them throwing away the tapes. I just want to get them backed up and digitized. Yeah. Do they send them back to you? Is that the?
I think so.
I don't know. I think they give you the option. Like, do you want us to dump these or?
And there's
They
probably some
erase
locally
it.
where you don't even have to mail it, and you can probably just drop it off, and they'll do it, and then bring it back.
Because I've got some.
We probably know some people that could do it for us. That work at TV stations that have a Saturday night show.
Jesus. Yeah, he's got his own. He's got his own thing that he's got to do. But
He needs money.
I think that because I've got some cassettes I need digitized. I got to figure that out in the new year.
Someone I was talking to recently said that was their job. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, "You don't know what I do?" And I was like, "No, what do you do?" And they were like, "Oh, I work for this company where, but they do it on a corporate level where corporations will send them years of archives and be like, put all this on flash drives first or whatever it might be.
We don't need the microfiche
Put it in
anymore.
a cloud.
Right. And he makes lots and lots of money.
Really? That
Yeah,
pays a lot.
I can't
It might-
remember.
It's important information.
But it also
was.
might be his company too.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't think you'd
was.
make a lot of money being a person who does that unless you owned the company.
Yeah.
But
The nostalgia of watching a VHS tape. The last VHS tape I can remember watching, I'm sure I probably watched one after this, but Unfaithful. And it was always in the same spot, right where I left it. That's the last VHS tape I remember ever watching. I don't know if I watched
I
any
had
of
so
VHS
many
after
VHS.
that.
All Dogs Go to Heaven was the one that I would always go to. All Dogs Go to Heaven. And Finding Nemo I had on VHS.
mine were all video compilations of bands I liked because we didn't have cable. So I didn't have MTV. So I know it might not still be there, but for a long time there was a cardboard box in the front closet of our house that was my VHS tapes. It was like Iron Maiden videos and Dokken videos and just all these, some splatter films I'd watch. Things
You're a
they
big
were-
fan of Wiener Dogs that you made a whole VHS tape of them?
What?
Dawkins?
So anyway, yes, I did marry and also enjoy the band Dokken a great deal. But I don't know if those are still there. But because we didn't have cable, I would watch those all the time. But I didn't have
Movies?
Yeah, I mean some, but they were all horror movies, like Reanimator and crap like that.
My brother put some old stuff on, we had high 8 camera when it might have been even the ones that you put into the tape, like the VHS one, there's the little one.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
It goes into that.
You had the converter
Yeah.
or whatever.
He put some of it online a few years ago. Wonder if I could find it.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it because that was just 8mm tape.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I will put him on our YouTube channel. What do I know? Alan, please tell Poundcake it's okay to breathe when he's doing his sports break. He sounds like a person trying not to fall in an icy parking lot.
I
That's
really am
interesting.
trying not to fall because it's like a domino effect. I stumble over one word and then I get discouraged and then the whole thing's poop.
But you can take your time with it, too.
I'm working on it. It's not going to be perfect
He's
every
gotten
time.
much better.
Yeah, they're great.
I'm
feel
not
like.
saying he hasn't.
No, yeah, I'm
just saying
trying.
that you can.
It takes a while to get that comfortable. And I think you are really worried about the time, and I think you get in your head about that.
Not necessarily worried about the time, but again, I practice the pace when I'm reading it because my certain jokes, they have to land, I guess. So timing is important, but I'm not necessarily paying attention to the minute and 30 seconds.
Alan, I got pulled over in Texas in 1998 and was illegally searched. I had a clean license, and the other person in the car would do with me too, but I got busted with 191 pounds of weed.
That's so much weed.
It's a lot of weed.
What are you doing with that much weed if it isn't illegal? That's not for personal use.
Well, I wrote them back and asked if they got prison time. They got 10 years probation.
Ooh.
Because it was Texas. Texas is a weird state too, because on the one hand they love putting people to death, but on the other hand, it is still kind of, there's a lot of that. I know it from personal experience. There's a lot of that, like they pull you over and then they walk over and they go, "What's going on?" You know, you could be sitting there with a bottle of booze between your legs and they'd be like, "All right, just be careful, enjoy your night."
Call your wife.
Right. So this person got 10 years probation. Well, just don't be black and everything will be fine.
It's easier said than done.
If you can swing it and you've got 191 pounds of weed, that's how you get probation and not thrown into prison for the rest of your life. Costco. This person texted, Costco can't digitize anything. I assume they mean can? Because otherwise, that's a weird swing to take at Costco. They can't digitize anything.
Well, don't go to Costco because I took all my VHS in there. They would not digitize anything.
They won't digitize their shirts. They won't digitize the shrimp platters they've got. They won't digitize their bulk olives.
Nothing.
Meet me by the gazebo. I'll digitize you.
Boy, he's out there doing it, isn't he?
Don't you have someone you digitize?
No.
When did that end?
And I didn't know if anything had started.
He
Thank
had a
you.
lady friend.
He said he had a friend,
He had a friend.
but not a girlfriend.
Right.
Right. Is he winking over there? I
Enough
can't
to
see him.
digitize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I say you're not going to digitize your friends.
I've digitized. I do fine.
Did you digitize her?
Yeah.
So she's not a friend.
That's what
But
I'm
like,
saying.
yeah, but like we were hooking up, but like it wasn't.
Oh, well,
like,
then
she wasn't
you-
my girlfriend.
No, but you're like playing the middle there. So you were messing around with her.
Yeah.
Well, then what happened?
Not messing around with her anymore.
She didn't like the digitizing?
No, she liked it. It was just not working out for me.
Ooh, this guy, Mr. High Horse.
It wasn't that she didn't like being digitized.
He's
He got
taking
tired
his
of
digits elsewhere.
He got tired of digitizing her. He took her to Costco and they go, "We can't digitize
We don't digitize
anything."
here.
That's right.
I've just got the Digimons. His theme song stuck. Digimon, digital monsters. It's Bill.
Is that what Digimon stood for?
Are you
Digital
calling me a
monsters?
monster?
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say, Mary, if you'll just give him the benefit of the doubt, is that she outlived her sexual usefulness. And so he kicked her to the curb.
I should have given him the benefit of the doubt to say
Yes,
that. You're
that's right. They're not friends anymore. How many fingers?
8.
Well, thumbs aren't fingers. I didn't ask the right
It's
question.
like the here is the church, here is the steeple.
That's right.
Gross.
Wasn't her, was it?
No. She's got her own thing.
She's got somebody else's 8 fingers?
Yes.
All right. Alan Applebee's can't digitize anything either. Well, let me take notes on this. This
Write
is
it
really
down.
good to
we
know.
need to know this.
Sorry,
Compile a
Costco and
list.
Applebee's.
Compile a list.
Call
That's
us up.
right.
Let us know what places that can't digitize things.
Hey, Margaret.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
So I have a story. I'll make it quick, and it might end up being a bad story because it was kind of like you had to be there, but I'll tell it anyway. So we were moving into our apartment about 20 years ago, and the cable guy was there, and he was trying to explain to me about DVRs, and I was like, I looked at him. He was trying to like sell, like, hey, we can get a DVR with this whole setup, and I looked at him, and I'm like, I have a VCR. Like, why would I use this product? And he could not believe that I was still using a VCR. And this was like 2000.
Well, that's 20 years ago.
I know that.
But he couldn't believe that you would want to use a VCR in the year 2000 when you have this amazing like TiVo type technology, because that's around the time TiVo came out.
That was gonna be my next question. Is I didn't remember DVRs being around 20 years ago.
Well, because they were pretty much
new.
Yeah, they were very new.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was explaining it to me, and I was like, that's ridiculous. I have a VCR.
I can tape it myself.
Well, because also, I mean, but to your point, also because TiVos were new, I didn't think that cable companies were using that technology yet.
Well,
it was like part of his like cable selling package.
Wow.
Well, that's when it started going from TiVo, because TiVo was its own company, and then cable companies started putting them including it, and that's when it became a DVR, digital video recorder, I think is what it stands for. And we had one, like I got like a Magnavox one that I bought from Best Buy, and it was like you could record it and then you could burn it onto a DVD, and that was awesome. Like I use that thing all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you know
anyway,
what, Margaret, the story wasn't half bad.
Oh, thanks. Well, I still use my VCR because I have old Disney VHS, and I put them in, and it's so much fun.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
it's going to blow your mind, lady.
for you.
There's a service. It's called Disney Plus.
Got all of them.
And all those VHSs that you were watching.
The funny thing is, I have Disney Plus.
But you like to watch it grainy.
Yeah, nostalgia.
With like a band going across it every couple of frames. And I hope you've also paid close attention, Margaret, that neither Applebee's nor Costco can digitize anything. So
don't take your VHS tapes to Applebee's.
That's right.
Waste of time.
What can you do with my Disney here at Applebee's? Okay, thank you, Margaret. Hey, Mikey.
Hey.
What's going on?
For like the heck of it and make a few bucks after work, I'll deliver for DoorDash. And maybe someday I'm going to write like a book about the restaurants in our area. But if you ever want sushi, go out to Aurora to Sand Pebbles.
Thanks, Mike. Is he doing a commercial? I don't know.
Is that the whole thing?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know.
I was waiting.
Do they digitize?
My screen said that he got drugs from Oklahoma and brought him back to Texas. That's what I wanted to hear. I don't want to hear sushi recommendations.
That's what he told me. He had this whole elaborate story. I said, okay.
All right, well, whatever.
When he said DoorDash, I was like, oh, he got pulled over with someone else's food. They accidentally put drugs in it. Like, what was it?
And what if it's like a restaurant's like, if you order the 420 pizza.
Right. Cheeseburger with extra fentanyl is the code.
You're a drug mule and you don't even know it.
Would you like the fries? No, I want the fentanyl. I want my fentanyl medium well.
You want fentanyl with that?
Wink, wink.
Only if it's hot and crispy.
Alan, the weirdest thing, IHOP can digitize anything. Well, that's good to know. I do like that. It's the International House of something. I can never remember what that is.
Pre-recording.
It's the International House of... I'm going to take a break and it'll come to me.
Mm-hmm. Penguins.
No, it's not that.
Pretty sure it's penguins.
Producing. That's why they digitize.
Porridge.
You want raisins in that or no?
It's a porridge. that on Seinfeld, the cereal restaurant. This is the porridge restaurant.
Right.
But at this place, orphans aren't allowed.
Oh.
They're over at the Gruel House having breakfast. All right, let me take a break here. You want to get the last word in? Send me a text, 35192, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox